Chelsea are considering making a move for Fermin Lopez, despite being in talks to sign Xavi Simons for over a month. So Football.London takes a look at how the two compare against one another. A big decision awaits Chelsea in the final days of the summer transfer window. The Blues have recently registered an interest in Fermin Lopez from Barcelona, the West London club who are looking to provide cover for Cole Palmer in the number 10 role if Christopher Nkunku, as expected, leaves Stamford Bridge, made contact with the 22-year-old's representatives earlier in the week to discover more on his situation at Barca. Many were left surprised by the news. Chelsea have been in direct club-to-club talks for well over a month now with RB Leipzig regarding a move for Xavi Simons, someone who plays in more or less the same position as Lopez. Sources close to negotiations between the two clubs confirmed earlier in the week that talks are still happening regarding Simons, who has his heart set on a move to Stamford Bridge. Bayern Munich and Manchester City both registered an interest in the 22-year-old playmaker earlier in the transfer window, but his representatives confirmed their client's desire to move to the world champions. Lopez or Simons? That is the big decision that looms large at Chelsea over the next few days. In their respective leagues, Bundesliga for Simons and La Liga for Lopez, on per 90 minutes, the Barcelona man fares slightly better. He trumps Simons in shots on target, 1.2 versus 1, assists 0.4 versus 0.3, passing accuracy 86.15% versus 82.9%, take-ons completed 1.9 versus 1.4, and touches in the opposition's box 4.7 versus 3.7. Simons, meanwhile, pips Lopez in through balls 1 versus 0.6, fouls 1, 2.4 versus 1.6, and ball recoveries 5.4 versus 4.8, while they are equal in goals 0.5 and chances created 2.1. They are very similar players in many ways. Both have a high work rate out of possession and offer a lot in the defensive aspect, while they also share a talent of finding space in between the lines frequently throughout matches. Lopez and Simons have wonderful technical ability, and that can perhaps be put down to coming through the ranks in La Masia, Barcelona's famous academy system. Last season, Simons featured 33 times for Leipzig in all competitions, having missed over 2 months because of an ankle injury, where he scored 11 goals and assisted 8 times. The Dutchman averaged a goal every 251 minutes for Leipzig. Lopez played 13 more times than Simons in all competitions, but still spent around 700 less minutes on the pitch than the Netherlands international. The Spaniard scored 8 times and assisted 10 in his 46 appearances for Barcelona, meaning he finished the campaign averaging a goal every 254 minutes, 3 minutes more than Simons. From statistics alone, Lopez appears to be the more two-footed player. Out of his 8 goals last season, the Spain international struck 3 of them with his left foot, 4 with his right, and scored 1 header, while all of Simons' 10 goals came via his right foot. Chelsea have some big decisions to make in the coming days, not least with Simons and Lopez. Both are extremely talented footballers, and the Blues need to figure out which one is worth exploring more. Either way, Chelsea are still looking to strike a deal for Christopher Nkunku to leave the club before Monday's deadline, before they push forward with Lopez or Simons. The Frenchman wants to leave Stamford Bridge this summer, and the feeling is very much mutual in that respect, but so far the West Londoners have been unable to find the versatile forward a permanent home. Leipzig have shown an interest in re-signing Nkunku, who left the Red Bull Arena in the summer of 2023, while Bayern Munich inquired about a loan move. There is also interest in the Premier League, with Aston Villa contacting Nkunku's representatives recently. The quicker Nkunku is moved on, the quicker Chelsea can switch their attention to Lopez or Simons. Chelsea's transfer window has been defined by the endless pursuit of young talent, a bold attempt to secure the future of the club by stacking up some of the most highly rated prospects in European football. The Blues have already shown that their strategy under Todd Boehly is not about 1 or 2 marquee names, but a wholesale revamp of squad depth, competition, and long-term potential. With that in mind, news breaking around Barcelona's Fermin Lopez and Paris Saint-Germain's Xavi Simons has sparked another ripple through Stamford Bridge corridors, giving Chelsea both a transfer incentive and a looming dilemma to consider. Fermin Lopez has enjoyed a meteoric rise in Catalonia over the past year. The versatile midfielder, who has been nurtured through Barcelona's famed La Masia Academy, has quietly become one of the brightest sparks in a transitional squad. His ability to dictate play, make surging runs into the final third, and score from midfield has made him a fan favorite across Europe. His breakout performances last season, especially in games where Barcelona lacked creativity, turned heads across Europe. Chelsea have been keeping tabs on the youngster, with insiders suggesting that Stamford Bridge scouts have been filing glowing reports on his development. The incentive for Chelsea comes in the form of Barcelona's financial situation, which continues to cast doubt over their ability to retain all of their homegrown stars. If the right offer lands, Barcelona may be forced to negotiate. For Chelsea, this opens a door to a player that perfectly fits Enzo Maresca's tactical blueprint. The Italian coach has been vocal about his desire to control matches from midfield, not just with possession, but with incisive forward-thinking play. While Chelsea already boast a midfield contingent including Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, and Conor Gallagher, the latter's uncertain contract situation makes the prospect of signing Fermin Lopez even more attractive. Gallagher has yet to commit his long-term future to Chelsea, and should he move on, Lopez could be seen as a natural successor, someone who embodies energy, creativity, and a knack for producing game-changing moments. The incentive is not only about Lopez's footballing talent. His potential price tag compared to other European targets makes him a financially reasonable option. Barcelona may not demand astronomical figures given their need to balance books, and Chelsea, despite their lavish spending, are looking for shrewd acquisitions that don't risk breaching financial regulations. Lopez represents value and quality, a rare combination in today's market. But even as Chelsea weigh up the Lopez situation, the major decision looming over Simons cannot be ignored. Xavi Simons has been one of the most talked about youngsters in world football. His decision to leave Barcelona for PSG raised eyebrows years ago, but his career has since been marked with maturity, versatility, and a constant upward trajectory. Simons has been deployed as a winger, attacking midfielder, and even a second striker, showing adaptability that few in his age group possess. After a successful loan spell at Leipzig, where he lit up the Bundesliga with goals, assists, and relentless pressing, his future remains undecided. PSG are keen to retain him, Barcelona harbor dreams of bringing him back, and Chelsea have been placed on alert should the opportunity to sign him arise. This is where the looming decision for Simons becomes intertwined with Chelsea's strategy. PSG's intentions remain clear. They want to build a new project around Kylian Mbappe's departure. With Mbappe gone, players like Simons become crucial to their identity. However, Simons himself may be reluctant to commit fully if his role is not guaranteed. Barcelona, sentimental about his return, cannot necessarily match the financial and competitive guarantees that PSG or Chelsea could put on the table. Chelsea, in turn, see a chance to exploit the uncertainty by preparing a package that promises Simons Premier League stardom, a central role in their rebuild, and the opportunity to work under a manager who champions youth. For Chelsea fans, the potential of signing either Lopez or Simons would be seen as a major coup, but the context matters. Lopez would be a relatively lower-risk addition, one that adds depth and complements the current midfield setup. Simons, on the other hand, would represent a blockbuster signing, one that could alter the dynamic of Chelsea's attack entirely. The Blues have lacked consistency in the final third, despite investing heavily in forwards. A player like Simons, who thrives in carrying the ball, unlocking defenses, and producing clutch performances, could be the missing piece in Maresca's attacking puzzle. The decision now lies in how Chelsea approach the balance between affordability, availability, and ambition. Lopez represents the logical step, the sort of deal that ensures squad depth and long-term value. Simons represents the dream, the type of deal that could ignite excitement across Stamford Bridge and signal Chelsea's return to the elite conversation of European football. However, landing Simons will not be straightforward. His ties with Barcelona, PSG's reluctance to sell, and the inflated price tag all stand in the way. For Chelsea, the looming factor will be whether to strike now for Lopez while monitoring the Simons situation, or gamble everything in pursuit of the Dutch star. Barcelona's instability offers Chelsea a rare chance to raid La Masia once again. Past examples like Cesc Fabregas highlight how Catalan prodigies can shine in London if given the right platform. At the same time, Chelsea's ambition to outmuscle Europe's elite for Simons would serve as a statement that the club is not just looking to rebuild, but to dominate. The next few weeks could be defining as Chelsea weigh the certainty of Lopez against the allure of Simons. As things stand, the incentive to move for Lopez is clear: a rising star, attainable fee, and tactical fit. The looming decision on Simons, however, will test Chelsea's ambition, financial muscle, and ability to convince a world-class prospect to join their revolution. The Stamford Bridge faithful will be watching closely, knowing that both names carry the potential to transform their club's future. Thank you so much for watching our video. For all the latest football news and analysis, be sure to subscribe